Mr. 100 Raymond.
So with money talking, my talking round the clock. What you
Yeah.
need, you
All right,
copy.
bro.
Them pills, them pounds, them rocks. A couple niggas ballin', cause they got a block. A word of flush and spot 'em, right around the top. So I'ma make it bounce back, so all you get is straight piss. You fucking niggas' pockets, now they need a rake kick. Money's my motivation, that's why they hate this. Money talking round the clock, nigga no breaks, bitch. We carry big weight, we will big pun the streets. Been about mine since I was in my dungarees. We blow a big tree the size of a jungle leaf. He think he big meat supplying with 100 piece. I'ma make it bounce back so all you get is straight pip. Triple B, no in between, so all the pictures can't miss. Have your daddy stuck right down that chimney like Saint Nick. To take your 2 cents and stick him in your anus. It's royal flush, nigga. I see your pantyhose. You bragging about one bra, bitch, nigga, I any hoes. I do not mingle, rotate them like hot singles. Just the sound of my money make they twat tingle. So with money talking, my talking round the clock. What you need, you cop it. Them pills, them pounds, them rocks. A couple niggas ballin', cause they got a block. A word of flush and spot 'em, right around the top. So I'ma make it bounce back, so all you get is straight hit. You fucking niggas' pockets, now they need a rake kick. Money's my motivation, that's why they hate this. Mommy talking round the clock, nigga no breaks, okay? I'm the lotto pick, I keep an honest click. And if we were a thing, that wouldn't be stopping it. We smell a bitch as if he stuck up in some doggy shit. Shorty sniffs my money, that gives me doggy licks. It's absurd how the chain is chipped up off the bird. Oh, have the rims, have the panties taken off his girl. Fuck the ground, oh my niggas post smell them birds. They say talk is cheap, so I'ma wholesale my words. I'ma make it bounce back. Niggas getting straight pit, choking to his face blue. Bust the nigga bank crip. Fuck around, all my niggas all that same shit. Nah, ain't a problem to get banged quick. So with money talking, my talking round the clock. What you need, you cop it. The pills, them pounds, them rocks. A couple niggas ballin', cause they got a block. A word of flush, you spot 'em, right around the top. So I'ma make it bounce back, so all you get is straight pip. You fucking niggas' pockets, now they need a rake kick. Money's my motivation, that's why they hate this. Mommy talking round the clock, nigga no breaks, bitch.
Got untouchable empire, baby.
Yeah. It's the concept. I'm gonna have my people play around with the album cover a little more. That's just the concept of the concept.
You're rocking with the best.
Yo, YouTube.
You're rocking with the best.
YouTube is acting crazy. YouTube is acting crazy. Maniac event. Welcome to the New Culture Empire, where we are here to debunk another guru, in which I shouted them to a debate, but I don't think I'm gonna do the debate because the technical terms I'm gonna get on with the debate, it's all wins for anyone I debate. It's all wins there. There's nothing, and then they can, nah. You ain't gonna ride my coattail. Not saying I know it all, but I'm just saying like how technical I'm gonna get with it. Like you gotta learn how to you gotta know how to read the balance sheets. You gotta know how to identify items. You gotta know what line they gonna like. That's gonna be the whole, like, I'm gonna break it all the way down from the level of my understanding. I know that most people ain't gurus ain't ready for. But today we actually have an Well, so we have an entertaining one today. What I don't know if it's gonna be entertaining, but this is Are You Afraid of the Dark live series. Now we got the Are You Afraid of the Dark video series, TV show, and we got Are You Afraid of the Truth, which is the live series. Yes, and today we are going to get into another guru who wants to simplify securitization. Why do they want to keep oversimplifying a very highly complex structure? It is ultra complex. It is so many different things that play a part in it. And for what I've been hearing, all you got to do is say, hey, securitization, I don't owe anymore. But you have to be able to prove that you don't owe from a legal standpoint. Not what you think, not what you believe. From a legal standpoint, that is accepted by the courts. But before we get into that, I found a very interesting.
So this is on Dante's account right there. Click on Dante's name, just so everybody know. Matter of fact, go back to that post.
That's right.
All right, go to the comments.
Hey,
Click on Dante's comment. Now go to where you found it, Cash App. So this is supposed to be Dante, the person who's accusing me. Go to the Cash App. So that's his Cash App. Yeah, this is his link tree because this isn't clickable. All right, so then go to his link tree for Cash App. No, this is Jeremy Gate. This dude Vincent must be a scammer. Go back to how do I go back to the look? You can show them right here. Click that here. So where's the freeway thing? This. Okay, so this is on Mr. Dante, aka Brian Harper's link tree. But if I go here and go to this website and look at the website, oh, okay. Go here and go to the website. Scroll all the way down. So Vincent, are you also Dante, who is also Brian Harper? Inquiring minds want to know, why are you on this man's link tree? The same man, Dante, who in your comments said, I scammed him, has all these different people. First, he's Jeremy A. Gate. Then he's you. Bucko, front and center. Make it make sense. I gave you 72 hours at first. You got to the end of the day. I promise I'm going to get your page taken down. Play with me if you want. All right, now say it again. Put it in front of the camera.
From a legal standpoint. It's going to let that one be. I'm going to let that one be. Vince, you can't catch a break out here, can you? Now, Mr. Nicholas Burns. Now, before, I just want to, I think it was this. Damn. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if it was. I think it was this one.
Nick, If the bank never lent us real money, how did the seller still get paid for the house or the car? Good. I want you asking that because once you understand this part, you would never look at debt, banks, and what you owe the same again. I'm going to slow walk you through the process of what is happening behind the scenes in a home purchase, a car purchase.
Behind the scenes. Interesting. You got my attention. You got my attention.
Credit, the Federal Reserve.
When I first heard that, I immediately knew, okay, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Right. I told you, when you deal with people that are in that world, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. The Federal Reserve only governs the interest rates. They don't have anything to do with our consumer finances. Only the Federal Reserve only regulates small, like state banks. They don't even regulate the finance company. This is what I'm saying. Already wrong.
As if you're in the room with me. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you stick around all the way to the end, because we're going to be diving into something that nobody is talking about. Really,
they all say that. And for at least 2 years, especially my Supreme Elite team group, we've been going in depth from a corporate top level, professional level. But all of a sudden, nobody else is doing it.
breaking down and making sense of it. Okay? This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Remember,
Of course. Go ahead and throw the disclaimer out there. Of course. Then what are you doing then? What are you doing then? If it's not financial advice, if it's not legal, then what are you doing? Stand under that shit. Stand under it. Yeah, I'm giving financial advice. Yeah, I'm giving legal advice. Stand under it.
remember to do your due diligence. Remember to review the information on your own. You can look this stuff up by yourself.
If they don't understand the words or the terminology or how things go, they can look up the fucking very first King James version of the Bible and still ain't gonna understand it. That's not helping Bill understand it. And this is the exact point that I'm saying. That's just like saying, hey, rocket science, here's a handbook on rocket science, and read it.
Okay? Use this as inspo. Number 2, if you're brand new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tap into the channel. I'm gonna talk to you as if we're on FaceTime. Let's dive into another one. So let's first talk about the only thing that you actually give them. Okay? When you took out a mortgage or when you take out a car loan, you didn't start by getting the money from the bank. And that's the thing. And this is why we challenge contracts. This is why we
challenge contracts. Supreme Elite team, remember when I said that as soon as you want to challenge anything related to the contract, you've already lost? These are the reasons. Remember I say it's a game of inches, the little nuances that everybody skips over? See, this is the stuff the professionals already know. But if you actually knew what was going on behind the scenes, you probably wouldn't have made that statement. And this is why I'm debating on whether I should debate him or if he accepts it, because it's like they
are sending conditional acceptances simply because if it's a consumer,
you can send them the ashes of the very first human, still not going to give you shit or have equivalent value of getting out of your contract. Conditional acceptance. You might as well say sovereign citizen.
credit transaction, or if someone is loaning you money, they should be giving you cash in hand. That's number 1. But what happens is you start by signing a promissory note for, let's just say, $300,000. That note is not just paperwork. That note is an asset. It's a value.
Explain the asset. Explain it. What type of asset is it? Asset. Hell, this could be an asset. Phone's an asset. This laptop is an asset. Explain the asset. They never can do it.
It's negotiable and it can be sold. It can be pledged. It can be treated like money. When you look at UCC 3-104,
There you go, right there. Everything is UCC3. It's certain elements of UCC3 which gives rise to your cause of action. I told you, another rookie. Another rookie. I don't care how you sound. I don't care how sophisticated you want it. Another rookie. I'm dealing with another rookie. He already made 5 errors in his opening statement that he don't even know he made because he hasn't gone that far with it. I told y'all, this shit is clockwork. This shit is pieces of cake all over. I don't care if I'm on YouTube, TikTok. It's a piece of cake with these people, man.
it says a negotiable instrument is a financial instrument to the bank. The bank then can use that promise to make money. But we already knew this. So
Explain that part, though. Explain how that goes. Explain how they can use that note to make money. Explain how it goes. You see? But we already knew this. I don't give a shit what you know. It's what you can prove. Just because you know it don't mean nothing. Can you prove it from a legal standpoint? This is exactly what I mean. Prime example of rookies masquerading off like teachers.
before the bank gives anybody $1, you already gave them
And then he's reading. It's probably some AI shit he probably typed. He's reading from a script. He's reading. Look at his eyes. Keep going to the left. He's reading from a script. It's supposed to be off the top of your head. Stop cutting your eyes that way. Top of your head. You don't know how securitization goes behind the scenes off the top of your head? From an accounting standpoint, from a security standpoint, from a balance sheet standpoint, and then bring it back into a court of law standpoint off the top of your head?
value, which is why we are challenging, or why we have the ability to challenge debt, why we have the ability to challenge contracts in regards to consumer credit transactions.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look me in my eye. Because if you debate me, you better not be looking down at the screen. Look me in my eye and let's talk. You reading from a screen that you had AI spit out for you with your misinformation you inputted in it. This is the problem. And nobody sees this as a problem.
Your signature created the thing that they are about to use against you. You're thinking you're the borrower, but in reality, you walked in as the liquidity.
That he's reading from a script. Where's your own research off the top of your head and talking to people? Can't take this guy serious. I don't even want to continue. It's a waste of my why continue, y'all? It's a waste of my damn time. I thought I was.
So let me go ahead and show you this diagram. I have a couple of diagrams put in place to kind of drive the point.
Generated from
All
AI.
right, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and
I bet you it's going to have the Federal Reserve in there somewhere. I guarantee you it's going to have the Federal Reserve in there. But y'all notice the legal diagrams that I show in my group. Y'all notice the Federal Reserve is nowhere around. Legal diagrams from the top professional accountants and top law firms and top securitization firms. You notice the Federal Reserve is nowhere around. I bet he has Federal Reserve.
let's just start with this diagram right here. Okay. Now I try my best to make this diagram good, you know. So we're gonna move this over a little bit, see if we can zoom. Can we zoom in? I have a couple of diagrams. How do I zoom this thing in, man? All right, so it finally zoomed in. I figured it out. Let me go ahead and make this smaller. Uh-oh. As y'all see, raw and uncut. All right.
Okay, where's the breakdown? So you got borrower signs promissory note, car purchase, home purchase, commercial banks. And then from the commercial banks, he has a Federal Reserve Bank. That's where you went wrong at right there. And then he has bank ledger, deposits note as an asset. This is nothing more than a variation of the modern money mechanics. Because they don't deposit the asset. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Because all y'all going to do is bite. But you're supposed to, it's an actual term that's used to show what they do. And he's missing all these other players in the game. See, this is the difference. Hold on, y'all. I ain't want to do this right quick. Hold on. I do want to do this. Let me show you the difference. I hope I didn't delete it. God damn it. I think I deleted it. God damn it. I think I deleted it. God damn it. You got to be kidding me. Oh, you lucky. You lucky. But guess what? Don't even trip. Don't even trip. Watch this. Let me pull this up right quick. Let me show you the difference in the diagrams. Let me show you the difference in the diagrams I'm talking about, because this is insane. It's nothing. Listen, that is something AI spit out, which he didn't do no cross-reference, which he didn't even validate. And he's reading from a script and wants people to expect that he knows what he's talking about. Keep cutting his eyes over at the screen, reading from a script. I can tell when someone's reading from an AI script, how they're wording their words, how they putting their words together. I could tell. Like, you're not fooling me. You may fool. See, and this is why when you're not in the Supreme Elite Team group, or you're with someone that actually knows what they're talking about, anybody that's listening can easily be fooled. You cannot fool me with what this man is saying. Let me see if I could pull it up and spend about another 10, 15 more seconds on it. And you know what? Since it is not, I can't find it here, y'all, but you best believe that I am going to post. I'm going to post it and drop it back up. Let me give myself about 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm looking. Ah, here we go. I found it. Oh, I exceeded all the files. Don't worry. I'm gonna take a snapshot of this, and I'm gonna post the one from the professionals.
So let's just talk about what's actually happening. This is you, and I have a couple of diagrams that we're going to look at. But you as the borrower, okay, you sign a promissory note, and that promissory note, pretty much your signature is what's backing this $300,000, okay? This right here affords you the ability to be able to get a vehicle, to be able to get a home, okay? Because the value.
So what he's saying is the signature is backing the value of the home, if I'm understanding it right. But why is what he's saying conflicts with the accounting for these transactions? Because your signature does not back nothing. Your signature creates an obligation for you to pay. And you should know it creates an obligation for you to pay, because when you don't pay, they come and take your stuff. So the signature does not create the whatever he said they did. The signature actually creates the obligation. And when you don't pay that obligation, here we go. Hold on. Let me move me to the side. Here we go. You see this? No Federal Reserve Bank anywhere. It's the real one. You see all these players to the game? You see all these players to the game that I have to know and how each one of them functions? You see? liquidity facilities, credit enhancement facilities. You got the conduits, the BREs. You see that? The servicer, the assets, the nominal, the investors, the agents, the collateral agents, indentured trustee. You see all that? You see all that? What you're not going to see is this simplified method right here. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that. So simple. This guy has no clue.
Value comes from you. And the question is, why does it come from you? I mean, simply because you're the beneficiary of an estate that they created because they own you. Okay? They took ownership over you.
Sovereign citizen. Beneficiary of a state getting created because they own you. Sovereign citizen. I am not debating this guy. I will wipe the floor. Shaman triple roll his ass. I will Charmin triple roll his ass. I will Charmin triple roll his ass. Pause. There is no way I'm debating this guy. Hey, brother, I was in your Discord. See if you want to debate. Never mind, bro. Never. I swear to God, it'll be a waste of my time. I'm not debating you. You're nowhere near my level to debate. Hey, if you want to jump out there, I'll scalp you too. But no, bro. I withdraw the offer. No, hell no. Hell no, I'm not debating you, man.
When you look at the SKV Act, it says
the KV Act. A 1666 Act. Well, let's just hold on. The Act. Sovereign citizen. Because Mensa likes to use this. The KV Act is a historic English law from 1666. So laws made in England has no applicability to laws in the United States. That is now considered obsolete, and that is not used in modern legal proceedings. Sovereign citizen movements, however, misinterpret this act to create the pseudo-legal theory of a KV trust. They claim that upon birth, the government places a person in a trust, and through the act, the living individual can reclaim the assets in this trust to become free from government authority. But this theory is not legally valid, and damn near every goddamn court case has said it. Look, settlement of the KV Trust Act, United States District Court. Recommendations. Shortly after the court dismissed her prior complaint for lack of jurisdiction, and alternatively for failing to state a claim and invoking frivolous sovereign citizen legal theories. See, when you have to bring that to court, brother, this is the judicial light yours is going to come under. Verified emergency complaint for equitable settlement of KV Trust estate and discharge of debt. I recommend that the court dismiss Doherty's complaint as moot in any pending motion. Fails to allege any facts supporting the existence of federal jurisdiction. She explicitly names no defendants and simply only makes state law claims related to her purported trust or estate. And this is what I mean. Now, here's the thing. I also recommend the court warn Doherty that further frivolous filings may result in the imposition of filing restrictions, limiting her ability to bring actions in this district court. Telling you, don't even file nothing like this again, or we're not even going to let you file that crap. But guess what? Guess what is being talked about right here? This is why I'm not going to debate you, brother. I'm doing you a favor. I will mop the floor with you.
Says that a person can take an estate on a person that is deemed as dead, and only time a person can take back that is if they claim it and say they're not dead. So because of that, they were able to create this credit system because of House Joint Resolution 192, modern money mechanics, and
all the hallmarks. This is what he was going to debate me with. And all I was going to do is go to court case after court case after court case that shut it down. The exact arguments he made, court case that shut it down, the Federal Reserve, the FBI, the IRS, the Treasury Departments, Bureau of Fiscal Service, SEC, all that shut down. And this is why
You're rocking with the best.
I will mop the floor with this young brother. Brother, no disrespect, you got a long way to go. You have no understanding of a system that you think you know well. You have zero understanding, bro. And I'm telling you, like, heart to heart, you understand 0.00001% of what you really need to know. I wish it was that simple, bro. I wish all I could do is say, I got to wake up, claim the estate, I wish it was that simple, bro. Nope. And you talking about securitization, the most highly complex legal financial structure in the world, and you gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little boxes that you didn't even put together?
Things in that nature. But in order for banks to actually get money, they need borrowers to sign promissory notes. Simply because if I go to 12 USC 1431, it says that
I told you. Who argued this, y'all? Mensa. When he went on Pocket Watcher with JT, didn't he argue this? Didn't Mensa argue this? Remember? 12 USC 1431, federal home loan banks. They talk about federal home loan banks, not every mortgage company in the world. You see, all he's doing is regurgitating the same shit you will hear from Mensa. He ain't coming up with nothing new. Oh, he's saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing as all of them that lose. He ain't saying nothing new. Look, each federal home loan bank. That doesn't mean your mortgage company. Let me guess, you interpret that to mean all banks? That's what Mensa did. Come on, man.
each federal home loan bank shall
Hey, you hear this? You hear this garbage over here? Cold-blooded garbage.
have the power, subject to the rules and regulations prescribed by the director, to borrow and give securities therefore and to pay interest thereon, to issue debentures, bonds, and other obligations upon such terms and conditions. So the banks, number one, they don't loan. Number one, they don't have money per se. They only can borrow and give securities. So it takes two people for banks to be able to make money. It takes us for them to make money. We are the ones who actually complete obligations. Okay. So if I go back to this, right, the commercial bank, this is typically what happens. All right. You got the diagram from the commercial bank to the Federal Reserve Bank. They deposit the note as an asset. That asset goes into their bank ledger, which is their books. They then create a matching liability because they created they was able to put this in as an asset before they gave you the money. And then they created a matching credit liability, which is not even like the value or the asset, if that makes sense.
No, because you don't even know what you're talking about. Now you're freestyling. That is nowhere near where it happened. You think that all took place on the bank's books? Didn't you just say the banks don't loan you nothing? So why do the banks will be putting liabilities and matching liabilities on their own books? You don't even know how accounting goes for these transactions. I know you don't know. All I got to do is ask you one question. And I know you're not going to know the answer. Bro, you're wrong. And all of your fans, y'all, this is why
They created a credit, and that's what they gave the seller. Because this system, one may think that, you know, money is real. And it's kind of like, before you kind of just get a sense of, oh, money isn't real, and think, oh, why are we even obsessing about this? You have to, not only do you have to understand that this is an illusion, but you also have to accept the reality of things, okay? Because you can say that pain is an illusion, but you'll still feel it. You know what I mean? You can tell yourself that all you want, but you still feel it. If that makes sense. So both can be true. All right. So they're creating a credit, just like when you think of store.
How? Explain it. Explain it from an accounting standpoint. Explain it from an accounting standpoint. Talk to me like you teaching an accounting class of CPAs. Explain the legal complexities, the intricacies. Oh, they created a credit. So basically are you saying that they took the note, deposit into an account, and then loan the money back out to you?
Store credit is not really like real money, store credit. And that's when they give the seller, because that's all one needs to be able to continue to exchange value. All right. So let's just break down a trick. The bank takes that $300,000 note that you signed. They record it on their books as an asset.
There you go. Told you. Right there, your accounting is wrong. Right there, your accounting is wrong. That is not how it goes from a legal accounting standpoint. That's not how it goes. Next.
You promise to pay because their property is on paper. Then
You promise to pay because their property's on paper. Bro, you just making it. Stop reading from the. I'm telling you, y'all keep thinking rely on AI. You don't know the inputs to put into it. You reading from AI. Bro, oh God.
this is the part that nobody tells you.
And it's always this secret. I'm the only one that knows. They never let you know. You're not going to get anywhere else unless you come from here.
They create a brand new loan balance in your name for the same amount.
That is no difference than saying the modern money mechanics.
An asset on their side, a liability on your side. They literally mirror your signature back to you and call it a loan. So when you see, congrats, you've been approved for $300,000, what actually happened is they monetized their promise, then handed you the credit that came from you.
That's no different from the modern money mechanic. Oh my gosh, bro, you are so, this is rookie elementary. Yo, they all got this simplified rookie ass elementary like breakdown of the banking system. That's all. They all say the same thing. They all say the same thing. You're wrong.
They are not receiving money. They are receiving a balance they created because you signed it. Okay? I want to break this down a little bit more.
Yeah, because you're not even, you're not, it's still not making sense. And I don't give a damn what anybody says that Regis, thank you. I don't give a damn. They can like the video all they want. They know damn well that the only reason why they liked it because he's just telling them what they want to hear. But they didn't really learn nothing new from a legal accounting standpoint to be able to reference it in court, to be able to really hit home. You got nothing out of this video. Only people that liked it are the people that don't understand finance and banking and the complexities of securitization. The low-hanging fruit. Those are the only ones who would like this video.
Okay? I have this other image, this note, this promissory note.
Look at this cheap ass shit. This cheap ass shit. Look at this cheap ass shit. Look at this cheap ass shit that he generated through AI. Look at this cheap ass shit. Now look at this. Look at what he teaches from. Now look at what I teach from. Look at the difference. Hold on. Oh, my bad. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. You see all that money going all different ways? Look. You see all that shit? And if you look down at the bottom, see all that shit going. You see that? You see the level I teach on? Let's move the ticker out the way for a second. You see all that? You see all that? You see all that? Arrows going. You see all that? And look what your man put up. Oh. And look what your man put up. Look at that. Boy, these dudes got a long way to go.
$300,000 goes to the bank. The bank deposits it as an asset, creates a $300,000 credit. That $300,000 credit gets entered in the bank ledger. That also, the accounting is also going to the seller as well.
Okay, but here's the thing though. You keep saying ledger. They use these general terms like ledger, asset. Break down how it looks on an accounting standpoint. Break it down. Not this. Break it down under the accounting mechanisms that they use. How does it show up on the balance sheets? How is it like? Break it all the way down. You can't because you don't know.
They also have an internal banking system that's going on. Okay. Another question.
Break that down. What is the internal banking system? Break it down more. Because I'm going to break it down. Break it all the way down. Stop just throwing little stuff out there and then moving on. Because you all do that. Because you don't really know what you're talking about.
that one may ask to say, okay, well, you know, what is this connection right here? Okay, let me break that down for you. That arrow between the house, which is the asset, and the Federal Reserve Bank visually represents a systemic tie between the real world collateral, the property, and the monetary system that governs reserves and credit issuance.
You're reading that from a screen. You break it down from your own research of the banking system and securitization and look at the screen and talk to me. You're reading. You didn't even put that together. You had AI create a flow chart for this cheap ass AI shit you use. You couldn't even put a real diagram together. This is what happens when you're just reading from stuff and never really understanding it so you can really break it down. And this is why I'm always going to say to the end of my days that with the Supreme Elite team,
You're rocking with the best.
Reading from a screen. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. It's always cutting over to the screen when he's talking.
Here's what's happening conceptually and legally. All right. The home, the note became the underlying asset. When you sign the promissory note, that note references the home as collateral. It gives the commercial bank the right to claim the property if you default, meaning the house backs the loan.
You're wrong again. You are wrong again. I know. Well, how can he be wrong? No, it's not that. It's like that. Nope, you're wrong. You don't know how corporate finance works. You don't know the highly complexities of securitization. That's not how it works. Your deed of trust is what you sign. That gives them a security interest in the home.
So in accounting terms, the promissory note equals the financial asset, which is the paper value, and the home is the collateral, which is the tangible asset that secures that value.
You're wrong again. In accounting terms, you're wrong again. In accounting terms, you are wrong again. Your accounting terms versus my accounting terms comes from every financial institution, every consolidated entity, every credit card company, mortgage company. This is what they go by. The accounting terms you're talking about, the financial institutions don't go by that. So you're not going to get anywhere with this claim. They don't even recognize what you're saying. I would love to see you submit this in writing to a mortgage company and let me submit mine in writing too. How about we do that? How about we do a battle of the paperwork? How would your paperwork look for one of your clients' mortgage and how my paperwork would look for one of my clients' mortgage? And let's see who comes out on top, who gets the farthest in their claims, yours or mine. I will challenge you to that. But an absolute debate, when we talk about accounting and debate, you won't even know the terms that I'm going to be speaking in highly complex legal accounting terms that I know that you are not even going to know what the hell I'm talking about.
So in essence, what kind of gives banks power is the fact that they include a home, or they make it seem like they gave you a home for this. That the commercial bank uses the note to create credit. The bank doesn't directly hand your note to the Federal Reserve. It creates credit internally. Then that credit enters circulation through a Fed clearing and reserve system.
The federal, one second, y'all. Yo, this dude is crazy. Do all loans get routed to the Federal Reserve Bank? No, not all loans get routed to the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve System provides financial services to commercial banks and government entities, not to individual business directly. The Fed's role interacts with other banks depositing by holding their reserve balance and acting as a lender of last resort through the discount window, which I said the Federal Reserve only steps in when a bank is under cap size and they don't have enough assets and stuff on hand to lend. So they need the Fed to step in like that. They are a last resort. They don't even barely go to the Federal Reserve. Banks borrow from the Fed to manage their own reserves and liquidity when typically they cannot obtain funds efficiently from other market sources. That's the only time the Fed steps in. The Feds don't step in as a general matter of getting a loan. So this won't even apply unless it's the last resort. So if we take this away, the Federal Reserve Bank, because 98% of banks don't even use the Federal Reserve for their loans. So when we strip that from your argument, what else you got? And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It's only deal with the monetary and crisis situations, special lending facilities. It's called the Central Liquidity Facility. Now it's going to be another word you're going to be popping around saying. Central Liquidity. It's the Navy, the credit union administration got to set up. The Federal Reserve sets it up. It's a last resort. It's a very last resort if you can't find other types of sources of financing from the secondary market. It's not a matter of every single time a person gets a loan is being routed through the Federal Reserve. And this is what I mean. They got that modern money mechanics mentality and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is what frustrates me with them being out here teaching, because they don't know what the hell they are talking about. They never know what they're talking about.
Directly linking it to the Federal Reserve banking structure. The Federal Reserve role, the Fed does not own your house. So one may think because the Fed is releasing the credit that they have an ownership over the house, or that they directly hold the note.
If the Fed is actually providing financing as a last resort, they have to pledge it as. You don't even know how they even operate when they actually go through the Federal Reserve. Oh my, boy, get out of here. This will be too easy. I'm not debating him.
However, the credit is created against your note, which is backed by your house. This expands the bank's balance sheet and influences the reserve requirements and liquidity at the Fed level. So think of it like this. Your home equals the real world anchor of the value. So that's when you think of the real world aspect of things outside of contracts. This is the anchor of the value. Conceptually, your note is the true financial instrument monetizing that value, because you can't sell a home. I mean, you could pay cash, but cash is also this here, you know? So when you think of monopoly, imagine if you could use monopoly dollars to get real world things. Or when the metaverse comes around and people are able to buy digital real estate, there is something of real world value that backs that. Whether it's the money, whether that digital value is actually going to become something valuable in the future, but something is going to have some real anchor to it. Okay, so this is why they have to give you a house, if that makes sense. But your note is what monetizes. This is what's actually valuable, the notes. Okay, now the bank creates the credit, but it cannot create the credit without this promissory note.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've had about enough of this. I'm going to get too frustrated. I think I've proven my point. Everything this man's saying is based on a sovereign citizen's view of the monetary system. None of what he says is going to get you any type of win. None of what he's saying is going to, and I bet you in his groups, they're probably still sending off negotiable instruments to discharge their debts and stuff like that. These people are so far behind, and everybody that's following them are even further behind, that it's becoming sickening. This is sickening. I cannot believe that people actually believe this man knows what he's talking about. Everything he's saying is on an elementary level. And they never expect anybody to pull up on them that knows the system the way I know it, and got professionals that's confirmed that I know this system better than most lawyers they work with over their 27-year career at the SEC. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't continue on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's nothing here. Nothing here.
We didn't receive it, or we don't. What if I told you that your bills might already be paid?
There we go.
And there's a legal way to remit payments using coupons.
A legal way to remit payments using coupons. Okay. Is there any legal way to pay my bills with just the coupon itself? I already know the answer. The answer is no, but let's just see what he said. No, you cannot legally pay a bill with just a bill coupon because the coupon itself does not represent a form of payment like a check or a credit card. A bill coupon is a document that provides payment information, but it requires a separate financial instrument like a check or online payment to be completed. Coupons have no monetary value. A coupon's purpose is to identify your bill and account, but it's not legal tender or a substitute for money. All it does is help them identify your accounts quicker and faster. So instead of using a paper check, you can pay online. Y'all know the real way, even though you just don't want to use money to pay it. Y'all know how it goes. Like, y'all know how it goes. Y'all know how it goes.
Most people don't realize that under 31 CFR 328.5 through 328.6,
31 CFR 328.5. I guarantee you it's a misinterpretation. I guarantee you it's a misinterpretation. I guarantee you. Forms of endorsement. I told you. You know what this relates to? Treasury securities. Securities that the Treasury actually issue through the Bureau of Fiscal Service or a bank, meaning a Treasury note, a Treasury bond. So this endorsement, it's not dealing with your coupons or bills. It deals with the actual Treasury security that you purchase through your Treasury Direct account, which you establish through your checking and savings account. Meaning you still need money to buy these securities. Told you. I knew I knew it's about to be another misinterpretation because these gurus are the kings of misinterpretation. Okay, so right there. Watch this. What does that pertain to? To my coupons on my bills and my self-created negotiable instruments. Tamika taught this BS. All these same old sovereign citizen teachers always going around peddling the same stuff. Dictates a specific forms of restricted endorsements that banks and the IRS must see on U.S. bearer securities when presented them for payment, redemption, or exchange. These regulations do not apply to coupons on standard bills like credit card utility bills or to self-created negotiable instruments. They are specifically for government issue Treasury bearer securities like Treasury bills, notes, and bonds. If it's not a Treasury bill, a Treasury note, a Treasury bond, this doesn't apply. Next. Told you. I will wipe the floor with him. Little young rookie. I'll wipe the floor with him.
coupon remittance may be a lawful way to settle your obligations.
We just read that it's not. You know what I'm starting to think? That he's caught on to what people want to hear. Remember, it's only the low-hanging fruit. Remember, it's only the low-hanging fruit who they actually Like that's who they cater to. You ain't gotta pay your bills. You can get a $300,000 house for free. You could just discharge all your debts. You don't need money to do it. That's what I'm starting to think this guy is.
And if you know how to do it, you can enforce it properly.
If you know how to do it, you can enforce it properly. What the fudge does that mean?
What if I told you that every dollar of debt you've ever had was already paid, and the banks counted on you never figuring that out? This is the last video you will ever need when it comes to private banking and debt discharge. And by the time we're done, you'll see the entire system from start to finish. Why debt is an illusion.
Look at this. Debt is illusion. Everything is paid. Full blueprint. You ain't got to pay your bills. Well, why the hell you ain't sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion? Huh? Why you ain't in a multi-million-dollar mansion then? You got it all figured out. Why you in a multi-million-dollar mansion?
How banks play the game and how the remedy has been
And he's still reading from a script
in front of you this entire time. Now, before we dive into this video, this is not legal advice. This is not financial.
Then what the fuck are you talking for then? Not for real. And every one of his titles is the same old. It looks like he just be going to other groups, copying what he've heard and going and running to his channel saying it. Everything he's saying, Tamika said it. Everything he's saying, Manta said it. He just sounds like an offshoot from everybody else. Nothing original with him.
Advice. Remember to do your due diligence, no matter what we go over in this video. Number 2, leave a like, subscribe. Make sure to turn on those post notifications because we're going to be diving into a topic that nobody is talking about.
Oh,
now,
shut up!
I want to emphasize that
just shut up. Nobody is talking about. Man, they've been saying it for the past 15 years. You ain't saying nothing new.
That this may be the final video you need to fully learn and understand about private banking and what debt discharge actually is. Okay? So this might be one of my most important, most grossing videos yet. Okay, so I hope you guys are ready because we're going to be diving into pretty much doing a full A to B on the aspect of private debt and then the aspect of how to be able to do these concepts that I talk about on this channel. Okay, so let's dive straight in. First things first, I want you to look at what I'm about to talk about, private debt and debt discharge as a game, okay? Yes, this is real life, but the thing is we get so overwhelmed by it because, again, we take it so serious, okay? Now, obviously, it is something you want to take serious, but what I want you to start looking at it as a video game, okay? Most people, they don't realize that they're living in two systems at the same time. So understanding that the part of you that is real life is the living and breathing one, but the part that I want you to start to play is the straw man.
There's no way you're serious right now. Let's just keep going.
What if I told you that you were never supposed to make car payments forever?
You know, everything. This is the scam. All you do is just make videos talking about how people don't got to pay. I'm talking about people don't need to pay. Talking about you could get stuff for free. He is no different from Tamika the wrestler. I don't care because you're soft with your tone and you're meek and you're eloquent with your words. None of that shit works.
because the money to fund your car already came from you. And today I'm going to be breaking down
And everything he's reading from a script. Once again, reading from a script.
how to discharge a car note the right way. Not with myths or internet tricks, but with real law, real contracts, and real understanding on how the system works. Now, this is not legal advice. This is not financial.
Of course. Not legal advice, not financial advice, but you can utilize the methods that I'm talking about in these videos. I'll come out. Keep going.
Financial advice. Please research this on your own.
Of course, research on your own with no foundation, no real understanding. All it is that, oh, they do some tricks and now you ain't got to pay. Oh, of course, you're giving good information to the people. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Okay? This is a very deep topic that
it's so sensitive, it's so deep, and nobody's talking about but me, the 1%. The eye on the pyramid. Fuck out of here, man.
I would say is on an advanced level when it comes to challenging debt or discharging and doing any type of private bank.
Well, if it was on an advanced level, you wouldn't be using the word discharge. If it's on so much of an advanced level, you wouldn't be using that word discharge. You're still using the word incorrectly.
If you are planning to discharge your car note, this video is for you.
Translation, try to keep the car without paying for it. Send some documents in. Nothing that, he never talks about taking them into court. All administrative processes, never take them to court, get the vehicle, had no problem paying them when you got the money. Now the money's running low. Now all this stuff comes up. Yeah, boy, it's the same old song.
If you understand the risk of discharging your car note, this video is for you. This is not for the person that's looking for an easy way out.
That's exactly what they're interpreting this as. It's exactly what they're interpreting it as. Easy way out. Because you keep throwing those subconscious, you don't got to pay. You don't got to pay. That's all they hear when you're talking. You don't really got to pay. Oh, this ain't for an easy way out. But you're never supposed to pay ever again. Like, come on, man. Stop the gas. Like, come on, man. Stop the BS.
Because everything I'm going to tell you is not going to be easy. But I'm going to break down the step-by-step process on how to be able to nullify the obligation of your car notes. Okay? Not giving you money out of thin air, not you getting out of the responsibility, but nullifying the obligation.
There's no difference from getting out of the responsibility and nullifying the obligation. You're saying the same thing. Stop with the semantics, man. Stop.
Essentially discharging your debt. Okay? Also, if you're brand new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Of course. Hit the like, subscribe, put the algorithm, and get a bigger YouTube check. I get it.
And tap into the channel. Okay, we post Monday through Friday on a consistent basis. So make sure you stay tapped.
I don't know why. All bullshit. All this is garbage.
Into the community. All right? Thank y'all for watching the video. We got a lot to cover. Okay? Stick around all the way to the end.
No.
Especially if you want to be able to have leverage against the dealerships and leverage against the bank.
He wants to talk about leverage against the dealership. He wants to talk about leverage against a dealership. Because all you're doing is talking. You ain't showing now one receipt, what you was able to do. All I see is just talk, just like the rest of them. Talk.
As a commitment to customer service, this call may be monitored or recorded. If you are a dealer or a financial institution, please press 1.
Of court.
We have automatically found your account. To verify your identity, please enter the last 4 digits of your social security number. Thank you. Your identity has now been verified. All representatives are still busy. Please hold. while your call is being transferred to the next available representative.
Credit Acceptance Compliance Team, this is Caprice. How may I help you?
Yes, I'm calling about GLE 350. I informed credit acceptance of the pending lawsuit that I actually have what on my way to file now. So I don't want to talk about anything legal. I just want to see what the remaining balance, because I was actually trying to print off the payment history, as far as my attachments for, for the judge to see. And I'm not able to print off my payment history or the payments I made. And I was also trying to get the remaining balance feature for the print off as well. But I'm unable to see the remaining balance. It says NA. So those are the only questions I have. Just the remaining balance in NA status, the payoff history, payment information unavailable. So I'm just trying to see if what's the reason behind that, because I did send a detailed email to operations, and it seems like since Saturday I'm being routed to compliance and not just speaking to the regular representative, which is okay. So those it. You could provide it for me. That'd
Okay.
be good.
So who am I speaking with?
Lamont Thomas.
All right. And Mr. Thomas, just for security on the account, can
Yeah.
I have your date of birth and the zip code we have on file? All right. Is that
Yes.
still the best number, or do you want to update that?
No, that's the best number.
All right. Thank you so much for that information. And let's see here. The reason that you're not able to access the information through our customer portal is because of the email that we
Right.
or letter that we
Right.
received
Right.
from you.
Right.
That was actually escalated to our compliance team. So whenever we have, an issue where we're
Right.
investigating something, we place everything on hold.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
But what I can do is I can actually email you a copy of your payment history if that's what you are looking for.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, just the payment history. That's perfect. That's cool.
Okay. Give me just one moment here. Let me
right.
get that up here.
Okay, I'm almost wasted, and my drip is on the spaceship. One more sip, yes, I can taste it. Come to my exact location. I'm so tired of my probation, doing time for.
Community. All right. Thank y'all for watching the video. We got a lot to cover. Okay. Stick around all the way to the end, especially if you want to be able to have leverage against the dealerships and leverage against the banks.
Talking about that leverage, the leverage I just showed, because I'm trying to figure out where's this leverage at. I done watched 4 of your videos. You ain't shown out one receipt. So what leverage you talking about? You talking about what I just showed? That leverage? You talking about that one? According to your conversation with your friend, the attorney, what we go over in group is right in line with the legal standards and the professionalism on how it has to look and what you need to know when you attack these people.
The words that he used was, "You're going about it standard operating procedures."
You talking about that leverage? I know you got to be talking about that leverage. If you have not signed up for this groundbreaking webinar, you still have an opportunity to sign up Watch for updates and check the community tab on YouTube and check the posts and stories on TikTok at thomas.legacy5 for registration requirements. Tune in now for the sneak peek of the Supreme Elite team. Troy, before I continue, is any part of the letter that you sent and all that, does that have to do even a morsel of what we go over in class?
Absolutely. It's got all of the core principles that you've taught. I attacked them in their private capacity as a private phone thing. And I followed it through and I showed them the amount that where my loan package is in and that it was 180 something million. I showed them that I put some bullet points together, showing them how it was not when it went through that it violated all principles according to and that it was just after the point that I signed the contract. Okay. And so they violated the contract and not having I did it all, yes. The main elements that we go over in class night in and night out. Troy, what do you think about this?
You're rocking with the best.
About making credit acceptance by that whistleblower complaint back from me.
I absolutely would do it after reading your paperwork and all of that stuff and having discussions with you. Man, you've got them fish over a barrel. That'll be easier than hunting ducks in a barrel.
He's a duck in a barrel.
And the thing about it is that I want to tell the class and whoever that's listening is that if you pay attention to the things that he teaches in this class and start taking notes, do your homework. Do your homework. You know, he can only lead a horse to water, but he can't make it drink. You have to drink yourself. Okay. And I've missed I've come down. I missed 85% of the classes and stuff, but I had the core things and the core principles down, and I read whatever he put out there. I throw it on my iPad and just start scrolling and reading. And
Sorry, I ain't lead you on the wrong path yet, have I?
No, not at all. And not only that, but I checked out with my securities attorney buddy, and he went over your brief, and he said, man, that's rock solid. He said, I could have done a better job myself.
According to your conversation with
You're
your
rocking
friend,
with the
attorney,
best.
what we go over in group is right in line with the legal standards and the professionalism on how it has to look and what you need to know when you attack these people.
The words that he used was, you're going about it standard operating procedures.
But is it worth it? Been wondering what truly matters to me. I know for sure it's not a
$204 pages. Clerk printed it off for me today. 2 orders, no dismissal of the complaint. Received the summons form for them today from the court. You know the judge has to approve this before they gave me the summons form. They had to go get it approved right quick. Hey, this motion's good for him to serve them now, right? The judge said yes.
You're rocking with the best.
89-page complaint alleging fraud. The heightened pleading standard. So I'm thinking that's what you're talking about. How to discharge a car. I'm thinking that's what you're talking about, right? No. You're not talking about this. I don't care how much administrative claims you're doing, discharge process you're doing. Can your administrative claim hold up in court? What you're sending them, if you was to take them to court, do you have a chance of winning? You don't get this summons. Do you know how many pro se litigants will never get this form from the courts? Because the case done already got dismissed. Want me to read it out to you, brother? 2, Credit Acceptance Corporation. Within 21 days after service of the summons, not counted the day you received it, or 60 days if you are the United States or United States agency or an officer or employee of the United States described in Federal Rules of Civil Procedure P12, you must serve on the plaintiff an answer to the attached complaint or a motion under Rule 12 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. The answer or motion must be served on the plaintiff or plaintiff's attorney, whose names and address are Lamont A. Thomas, pro se. If you fail to respond, judgment by default will be entered against you for the relief demanded in the complaint. You must file your answer or motion with the court. How many pro se plaintiffs get that far? Because I know you're teaching them that as well. How to structure it all for court too. I know you're teaching them that as well. I know you are. I know you are. Had enough of this guy. He's done. Get him out of here. I've made my point. Supreme Elite Team, New Coach Empire. And for everybody else that's going to watch this.
You're rocking with the best.
I'll get back with him later.